Yeah. So to begin with our Redux, we can close all this. Good. So in our Redux folder, let's create a file and call it store.js. In the same folder, we'll create another file and call it roots reducer.js. Now in the same Redux folder, let's create another folder, okay, and call it OddEven Redux. So in the OddEven Redux, let's create a file, okay, and call it OddEven.ActionTypes.js. So we go back to the OddEven Redux folder again. Let's create another file and call it OddEven.Actions.js. And the same OddEven Redux folder again. Let's create another file and call it OddEven.Reducer.js. Good. So that is that. Now let's take the first one. .action types. Okay. OddEven.action types.js. So with that one, let's say export const, we give it a name and say send number to store, okay, equals the same thing, send number to store. So just copy it, just paste. Good. That is that. I will create another one also and call it export const check number, okay, equals check number. So that is that. For our action types, we're going to have two actions. So this is the action that we're going to need. So the next one is the actions. Okay. So let's go to the actions right here. You say dot actions. Now with the dot actions, before we begin, let's import our action types. Okay. We say import what? One is what? Send. Oh, sorry. Send num to store. And the second one is what? Check number from where? Action types. Okay, good. So now we can say that let send number to store number to store, but this time in small letters. Okay, to store, given a function good that will return what? A type that is send number to store, comma, and a payload number. Okay, because it can capture the number that will be being typed. So we're going to do likewise for check number 2. So I can just copy that, so simple, and say let's check number be equal to a function with a type check number. Okay, so that is the same thing, just that only the type changes. So now we can export the first one, send number to store, comma, check number. Good. So that is that for the, how do you call it, for the actions. So next is the OddEven dot reducer. Now to begin with, we need to import our action types again. So I did it in the actions, so let me just copy that. Okay, so just copy it and take it to the reducer. So I just go paste it there. Good. So next, we create a feature key in the store. Okay, so we say export const, let's call it odd even key, giving a name in the store and call it odd even store. Okay, odd even key should be given a name odd even store. So inside our store, we're gonna have the name odd even store. So next is to give it an initial state. You say so let initial state equal to what? Let's give it num, let's give it empty, and comma, let's check num with the value also empty. So now we can create a function. We say let odd even reducer equal to a function get where state will be equal to initial state comma action. Okay, but before that, we can also say let what, the type comma payload be equal to what, action. Okay. So with that, our switch statement, we can say that to brackets type. Good. So with the case that the send number to store is being called, what should we do? Then return what? If as a state back, comma, the payload back. Good. Now, how about a case where the check number is being called? What do we do? Then return the state back again, comma, give us the payload back, comma. So with the checksum, let's give it the value of state dot num dot find the modulo of the number 2. We're doing a modulo 2 of the number. Okay, so when the number that the user inputs, it's the remainder, it's 0, it tells you it's even number, and when the remainder it's 1, then it tells you it's an odd number. Okay, so that's why we use the model. So next is to get our default. Okay, so say default case to return the state. Good. So that is that. Now we can export our odd even reducer. Okay. Now we export the odd even reducer to where? To the root reducer. Okay. So we go to the root reducer, then we import it. We say import import odd even reducer from where? From odd even Redux, odd even reducer. That. We also need to import combine reducers. So we say import combine reducers from where? From Redux. Then we can finally say let root reducer be equal to combine reducers into bracket. Let's give it, let's call the key. We say the key is called odd even key with a value. We just give it odd even reducer. Okay, that is that. So next is to export the root reducer. Okay, now we export the root reducer to where? To the store. Okay, so we go to store and import it. To say import root reducer from where? From root reducer. So next we need to import create store from Redux. Oh, sorry. From Redux. Good. We also need to import compose with dev tools from Redux dev tools extension. Okay, so that finally we can say that let store be equal to, oh sorry, create store into bracket root reducer, comma, compose with DevTools, empty bracket. So finally, we can export or store. Now export the store to where? To the app.js. So I'll go to app.js, then I import store. From where? From Redux, then store. Good. You also need to import provider. Okay, provider from Redux. So we call our provider and wrap it around the component. So we say provider. Good. Now inside the provider, we can have a store into bracket store. Okay, now I just take the provider down here, wrap it around it nicely. Okay, good. So that is that. So next is to check our screen. Excuse me, there's an issue here. The model not found. Something not found. Wow, let's check this error. Good. So it says model can be found REUX Redux something and the what root reducer. So let's check the root reducer. I'll go to the root reducer. Oh, sorry, it's not REUS, it's just Redux. Okay. So that is that. Let's check our screen again. Great. We have no complaint. So it means we're ready to go. So let's check our store. So we go to the store. Great. Everything has been initiated here. We have our row view. You can see the OddEven store. Then we have our num checksum ready for input. Now next thing we need to do is to link the store and the components use dispatch and use selector. Okay, so let's see how to do that. So we go to we can close all this. Done with them. Then we go to our components. Good. Then let's import use selector, comma, use dispatch to ch from React to Redux. Okay, let's initiate the dispatch. Say let dispatch be equal to use dispatch. Good. So dispatch is ready. It's a dispatch to bracket. Let's check what we describe. Dispatching dot actions. Dispatch send number to store. Okay. So go there and say send number to store. Good. Inside that, let's capture the number again. Okay. So that is that. So I go there. So when I say 2 or 5, and I say check, let me check my store. You can see we have 5 in the store. Okay, so I can change it again. I say 8, say check. Let's go to our store. You can see 8 in the store. To help us do that, we can just view the store on our screen. Okay, so how to view the store? So let's create a function over here and call it view store. Okay, so let's view number. Okay, let's call it view number. View number equals use selector. Use selector, which gives us another function where we're going to return the state states into brackets odd even key. Okay, odd even underscore key. Okay, we call that should be in the given state. Okay, so now let's this should be caps. No. Odd even key. Got it? Okay, let's import it, that odd even key. So we say import odd even key from where? No, odd even key is from the is in the reducer. Okay, so we go to our Redux, then we go to odd even reducer. Okay, that is there. That's where our odd even key is. Okay, you can check it. You can see the odd even key. That is the name of the store. Okay, so that is that. That is that to view the store. So to check the store, to view that, I can call the pre-tag JSON. Instead of number, I can say just view number. Okay, view number 2. So let's check our screen again. So if I say 5, if I say 3, and I say check, then I should see my 3 in the store. You see that? So that 3 is in the store. Great. So what we need to do next is, now we have the 3 in the store, we need to find the model. Okay, the model. Let's go to our back, the model. Okay, the modulo 2 of that 3. So to do that, we need to call check number. Okay, so we go to our, how do you call it, our actions again. You can see the actions, check number. So I'm going to call check number again. After the 3, what do you do next? Call check number. So we go to the dispatch. We're going to dispatch to bracket check number to bracket number. Okay, so check number, let's import it. Okay, it has been imported for us already. That is that. Now let's try it again. So if I type 2, the check number should give us the modulo in the check num. So let's say I say 8, I say 1, check. So you can see 1 there. If I say here 5, you can see the remainder is 1. I check, it finds the modulo 9, I say 9, and I say check, give the remainder 1. Okay, so that is that with the check num. So what we need to do now is to look at the check num to make our decision, and that decision will appear in our footer, okay, where we're going to say it should check the check num. If it is 1, then it should tell us it is odd number, and if it's 0, it should tell us it is even number. Okay, so let's see how to do that. So we go to our footer. Good. Now to begin the footer, we say, let me give a condition that the footer should appear only, okay, let me say, call it condition for footer to appear. So the footer will only appear when there is when after the user types types a number. Okay, so to say that, we say into bracket view number dot num dot length equals, if it equals the length is 0, then don't display the footer. Okay, then display now. Otherwise, before you display the footer, okay, otherwise before you display the footer, so the footer is now displayed. Let's check that out. See that there's no footer. And when I click for say check, see how the footer comes. So now let's write our footer now in details. So I say with our footer, we should have what? An h2 tag. No, let's give it h5. Okay, h5, then say is an even number. Okay, so it's an even number, so let's make it dynamic. Okay, now to make it dynamic, we will say that we can give it how do you call it, a condition that if it will check, okay, if the view number dot check number equals 0, then what? Then tell us what? It's an even number. Otherwise, tell us it's what? Odd number. Oh, sorry. And tell us it's what? Odd number. Okay, check number. Oh, sorry, not check number. Sorry, it's check num. Okay, so let's do that again. When I say 8, it tells you even number, and when I say 9, it should tell you it's an odd number. Okay, so let's make it now. Let's make everything beautiful. So to do that, we can just give it a class name, but before that, we can add the to it, the view number to it. View number. Okay, copy this too. View number. I give it a class name here. Class name equals font weight. Oh, so likewise, just copy that. put it there nicely. Okay. Dot num. Sorry guys. Number dot num. Okay. So now I say 8. Check you. 8 is an even number, and when I say 9, tells you 9 is an odd number. Okay, so that is that, guys. Now we can make it dynamic again by after I click the 9, I can just make the input empty. Okay, so to do that too, we go to after the dispatch. Okay, after dispatch, give us a set number into bracket. Give us the number back, then give us num to bracket empty. Okay, so let's check it out. So when I say 7, say check, see how the number disappears from the input box. So 7 is an odd number, and I say 4, so 4 is an even number. Now we just comment the, how do you call it, the pre-tag. We don't need this anymore. The check num and the num, we don't need them, so you can just comment them. Okay, so finally you can say 5. Check 5 is an even number. 1 1 2, check, say 1 1 2 is an even number. So guys, that is that. Thank you for sticking through. Catch you in the next video. Don't forget to do good. Say peace out.